All right, so this is going to be a little video of, continued part two. Just did the garage. Phone was dying, so I had to charge up the phone. Anyhow, want to continue with the suggested renovations or upgrades and things that you might do to the place. First of all, you got this entry step here that is shimmed up, so you might want to get something that's a little bit more secure in that position there. In the front here, charging up my other cell phone, but I didn't notice this before, but this is a piece of plywood that is down in front of the electrical box here. So I'm not sure if there's something down there that needs to be accessed, but maybe getting Trex deck. If it is needing to be accessed, then you can have something that opens and closes, but a little bit better looking than just that plywood there. Over here is your main shutoff valve for the water. And if this is going to be used as a vacation rental, you might want to, when it's vacant, water does a lot of damage. There's some products that will actually go, they would create a little loop here of the water line, and you can install a water monitoring system that will hit you up on your cell phone if there is water movement going through the lines. That might give you an indication you got a water leak going on underneath one of the sinks or something like that, and you can give a plumber some access to come out here and try and figure out what's going on. So that might be another nice upgrade for you. We'll have to see. I don't know if this thing is still operable or not. It looks pretty old. I think the seller or listing agent said it's not currently operating, but having a ring is also nice. All right, so let's start in the front here. These floors, it's an old laminate floor. If you're going to be replacing these, as you walk on here, you can hear the floor creaking. So if the flooring guy lifts up these floors, I would have them identify exactly where your floor joists are, and go ahead in the subfloor, go ahead and sink some screws, because these are probably put down with just nails, and so over time they loosen and start creaking. So maybe have them go through and secure down the floor, the plywood underlayment, with some screws. Also the same for any of the other rooms if you're planning on doing that. All right, so in the bathroom, on our hit list, I would say plumbing. So let's get this corrugated drain replaced. You can see the gap around that. It's an access point for rodents or spiders or anything like that. So I would probably have them seal that. Pretty easy, spray foam. Up here you can see we got some gate type valves. And as I've said over and over before, that it's probably best to change those to the quarter turn ball valve. Down here, same thing with this gate valve. That looks like the supply line is in good shape. The toilet seat here is loose, comes off. I don't know if we had issues. There was some leaking with one of the shower heads, but I was able to tighten it up at the top. But have them just double check that. Oh, we got some grout, little cracks in the grout along here. So have somebody go in and seal all this along here and down here in the corners and over there. So doing that over here, they do have stainless steel braided lines, which is awesome, but these are the old gate valves. I would switch those out to quarter turn. All right, let's continue on. Coming next, light switches. So probably put something in here, whatever it might be. And if you went with recessed can or got a cool little, hanging chandelier, might be cool. So there's that. Here, now this might be a little bit more expensive, and it's up to you guys whether you want to do this or not. But this doorway going up to the loft area, usually you're probably going to have this in the closed position or open position most of the time. But this is the side of the closet where you got a coat closet and storage. So I would, if money wasn't an issue, and you can get a quote and make a decision, I'd take this water heater and I'd have it placed over in this closet. That way, the door that you always are going to have access to, and is just a logical first door that you're going to open, this could be your coat closet where you have your brooms and everything else. So not too hard. I mean, you're going to have to break open drywall here, run these supply lines over to this other side, run this line to the other side, the drip pan, the drains. And this should actually, I think, be on a stand, should be raised up. So that would probably be a nice to have, not something that's absolutely necessary to be done, but would be a nice to have. All right, so in here, again, we got a light, a junction box up here in the ceiling where you could have a nice chandelier of some sort in this area. In the kitchen, what do we got going on? This is already vented to the outside, so that's good. We have here, so underneath here, let's take a look. So we got quarter turn ball valve, and that as well. I'm gonna take a look at that. That probably just needs to be tightened down a little bit. Doesn't look like an active drip or anything. You got a newer garbage disposal, but you do have gaps, a big gap around that shutoff valve. And again, that's, access for potential like spiders or stuff. So just closing that up, you might need a piece of drywall or something to go around that and then fill in that gap, whether it's just an expansion foam or not. That area, you might be able to put something over that. So I like having a plastic drip tray, an actual, it's a plastic tray that has about a 1-inch lip that goes all the way around. Because if something leaks underneath here, you just never know until it starts smelling. So better to have a drip tray in here. I also like these little moisture alarms that you can put in here. It's an audible alarm. You can also buy them, I think, that will hook up to your cell phone. So putting in a drip pan underneath there is absolutely the way to go, because it will do damage. Water does damage like no other. One thing I love is that you got some recessed can lights on either side of the sink. What would be nice is to have 1 or 2 lights directly over the sink. Up to you. There's a lot of natural light here, but at nighttime you might be able to use some more light than what's over there. In that case, what I would do is InSinkErator makes an air switch for your garbage disposal. So what that'll do, instead of having this switch over here running your garbage disposal, it would be located here, and it's just a little air switch, air activated switch, plugs in underneath here. So that would free up this wall switch that you could then use to take the power and put in some recessed can lights. But again, that's more of a wish list, and you can pick and choose what you want from this video and let whatever contractor you want to get in here take care of some of that stuff. So we got those rooms. Let me take a quick look in the loft room area. Okay, so flooring in here. Again, we got some creaks going on in here. So if you do replace this flooring, have them use screws and just go through the whole subflooring and screw it to the joists. Yeah, I think nothing really that I do up here. Heading down. So this threshold piece is pretty hammered, lots of nails throughout here. These steps are in good shape. It's oak, so you can have those refinished. This door here is not latching. Simple adjustment, or you can put a new lock mechanism. In here, not much needs to be done. This flex gas line is an older, so the one that you want that is current safety standards is a yellow that's rated for the older lines. Like when they flex, I think they had some brass or tin in them that they tend to form a leak over time. Nobody's out there flexing these things, so it's probably fine for who knows how long, but it's just not the proper gas line. So You could call it a safety thing if you wanted to. Down here, again, we got, I don't know if there's insulation under the floors or not, but you got some little bit of staining. And you can see here, I didn't notice that this was so stark of a difference, UV light damage, where you got some pieces that are not damaged at all, but some that are heavily damaged. So if you do replace the flooring, again, go through just so you don't have to deal with squeaky floors. Not feeling a lot of squeaky going on in here. There's this gap down there. But, underneath the house, you need to replace that foundation support at that post and pier. All right, so staying inside for now. Going into the master. Again, we got some creaks in the flooring, so if you do replace this, drill everything down. Ceiling fan and light. I mean, you could put some extra recessed can lights in here. Oh, that's one thing that we had talked about before, is putting some recessed can lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe open, maybe even more, I don't know. But bringing a little bit more light in here. Another thing we talked about is potentially building, some built-in cabinets underneath this space that's kind of dead space. So if you brought the cabinets out to the edge of this here, you definitely need to keep this open for the return air. But you can make something cool and decorative with some slats that allows airflow into those, and then some nice cabinetry on either side for games and storage, pillows, whatever. Could make for a pretty deep storage. Okay, so we talked about flooring in here. So, closet. I don't know if you want, this is all drilled in. This is the access to the crawl space underneath the house. Not sure if you want to make it accessible. If you're going to do vacation rental, maybe you should keep it screwed in with these screws. Not difficult to take it out. So yeah, that might make sense. Just know that if you want to get access there, you just got to have a screw gun to take that out. All right, so in the bathroom, this is the master bath. Did we have some small little, might have a couple little spots that need some caulking. Here we have a quarter turn ball valve with a braided stainless steel line, so that's good. Underneath here, we got solid pipe, that's good. And these are newer shutoff valves. They're just less expensive than the quarter turn ball valves. So, oh, there's a quarter turn. So you got a quarter turn there and then a gate valve here. That's weird. I'm just a fan, again, of ball valves. Underneath this one over here, looks like we got gate valves, 1, 2, but braided stainless steel and solid pipe. So everything's good here. Maybe just change out those ball valves. I'm not sure if one of these, the hot water cold, was switched. We'll have to look at the home inspection report. You got 2 exhaust fans in here, which is good because it's a low ceiling. And the steam will probably fill up pretty quick, so that's probably why they had 2 exhaust fans put in here. One thing you can do is that if you want to install a switch, they have now timer switches where you can select, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, where the exhaust fan will continue to run based on whatever selection you have. I love that idea because when you leave, if you're in a rush and you gotta leave and this place is still filled with steam, it can still air this place out. So that might be an upgrade that you go with. All right, so I think the largest project will be this back deck. So as we know, this whole picket fence here is just hammered. Needs to be replaced, rebuilt. You got kind of the Textrek decking material on the top, but these wooden pickets are barely even standing up. So definitely rebuild this. Now, the decking material here is in pretty good state. I mean, when I'm walking on it, there's no flexing, there's no soft spots. Everything's really solid. So I really don't think that the material needs to be replaced. We wanted to get underneath here to do an inspection, make sure that your joists and everything else are in good shape. And you can do that by taking off, when you're doing this, remove the skirt that's down below the deck material and have somebody crawl in there and check everything out. But it might be something, you know, if you're like, nah, I just want to do everything now, let's get some composite decking put down back here. Well then, hey, go ahead and do it all at once. But obviously this fence line here is what really needs to be replaced. So this is crushed. Oh, this is disconnected up here. So you need to have that reconnected with a little sheet metal screw put in there to keep it together. And what else was there? Trying to think. So recessed can lights, might consider that in here, in the master as well. Yeah, I'd probably put recessed can lights in here as well. But everything else is looking pretty good. I know as soon as I hit end on this video, I'm gonna think of like 3 more things to to do. But that's, you know, that's kind of a sort of a hit list of things to do that you might consider. And you can also use this to send to a contractor of your choice and just say, hey, take a look at this video, fast forward to, you know, 4.3 seconds or minutes in the video. Oh, there we go. Just saw it. You guys, one thing I would highly recommend, you don't know what's going on with these vents, so have somebody come through here and clean out your dryer vent, sweep it, and clean all of your central air vents as well. You'll be surprised at how much stuff. You just don't know whether they used filters. Maybe the HVAC got run, the heater got run without a filter in there. So first thing, replace your filter, get somebody out here to clean out your ductwork. They put a big, huge vacuum cleaner, send a big brush and cleans out all the ductwork. So any, you know, debris and dust and everything else. And then your dryer vent. Oh, that's right, underneath, that jackass didn't do the dryer vent properly, even though he came out and said he did it properly. I know that thing is still jacked and it probably has regular duct tape. So get somebody else to rerun that dryer vent properly. And you might not need it cleaned, but actually from here down, it might be filled with lint. So clean the ductwork, but make sure you get somebody to fix the ductwork underneath this house in the crawl space first. All right, so I'm gonna put this on pause while instead of saying 5 times. All right, this was already on your radar, and we talked about it a little bit when both of you came out here, but upgrading your appliances, you know, getting some type of stainless steel. The white just makes it feel dated. And, you know, when you're renting it out, VRBO, having, you know, a stainless steel suite of appliances is always a good thing because you want to get top dollar for your rentals. So that was the other thing that I would recommend. It's a gas range, it is an electric range. Whether you want to keep that or go with gas, I mean, you got gas over here. You might even have a stub out in the back here for gas as well. But up to you whether you want what you want to put there. And lastly, I think there was a GFCI outlet that might not be working properly, but again, the other hit list that you can go through is the summer of the home inspection report and see what he has identified there. I would change out smoke alarms and CO detectors everywhere. I'd have a carbon monoxide detector probably out here in the hallway. It doesn't need to be high or low. Carbon monoxide has about the same weight as air. So as opposed to smoke, smoke's gonna rise first. So that's why you always go to the belly when you want to get fresh air in a smoky room. With carbon monoxide, you kind of want it at shoulder height, right about your chest height on the wall, because it mixes with air and most people are walking around the house. So you want that thing screaming in case there's a carbon monoxide or a gas leak. So I don't care how new, smoke alarms are and smoke detectors. This one, okay. So that one looks pretty new. But that should be mounted up in the ceiling. This is way too low. Smoke's gonna come in here, it's gonna drift straight to the top. It's not gonna hang out down here. So that needs to be moved up high. I don't see a carbon monoxide detector. It's supposed to have one in the hallway outside of bedrooms. You're supposed to actually have a smoke detector outside the bedroom as well as inside the bedroom. So smoke detector here. I'd say carbon monoxide detector either here or here on the inside walls. Might as well have one in here too. I think the smoke detector is a little bit low on the wall in here. Well, they got it over there. I mean, I'd even think about putting one right by the door. And then a CO detector down below. I don't know if there's carbon monoxide down here. So there's no carbon monoxide, but smoke detector. I don't even see one on the end. Oh, here it is over here. That's too low. It needs to be up in that corner. Now, pain in the ass if that thing starts screaming and going off, if it's defective, but safety or convenience is the two things there. All right, gang, I think this has gone on long enough, and hopefully that is helpful for you. Congratulations. We'll see you later. Give me a call if you have any questions.